Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with this report claiming that Barca have ruled out signing a right back and a left winger, and they are prioritizing three other positions. What are those positions? We are also going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Secondly, talking about this report claiming that Barca do not have any offers for this out of favor defender Sergio Des at the moment. We are also going to be discussing more on that. So guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. In a huge development, Javi Miguel of AS is reporting that Barcelona have ruled out the signing of a new right back and a new left winger for the summer transfer window. Instead, the La Liga champions are prioritizing the signing of a new pivot midfielder, an interior midfielder, and a center forward. The right back slot has been one of the main areas that required addressing at Barca. Xavi has had to rely on Jules Koundé as a makeshift option throughout this last season, and while the Frenchman has performed well in that position, he does not wish to continue in that role. In such a scenario, Xavi is left with just Sergio Roberto and an inexperienced Julian Araujo as options at right back, with the latter even being linked with a loan exit. A loan move for João Cancelo had been heavily talked about, while Bayern Munich's Benjamin Pavard had also been touted as a target for the Catalan Giants. But given the tough financial situation of the club, it seems like Barcelona have decided against going after a new right back. Instead, the report claims that the club plan to speak to Koundé to convince him to continue as fullback next season as well. As for the left flank, Xavi has been keen to adding more dynamic player who can also chip in with goals. Yannick Carrasco of Atletico Madrid was the main target, with Barcelona securing a purchase option with 15 to 20 million euros for him back in January. However, the La Liga champions have no desire to spend that much on Carrasco's signing, and instead, they could look to incorporate young Loni Ace Abday into the first team squad after his impressive loan spell away at Osasuna. The priority now will be to rope in a pivot midfielder to replace Sergio Busquets, an interior midfielder who can ensure that there is no drop in quality when the likes of Pedri or Frankie de Jong are unavailable, and a striker that can cover for Robert Lewandowski. Quite interesting. I think Barcelona have a lot to do in this summer window in order to ensure that the team get back to its feet to compete in Europe next season. And we've been talking a lot about the different positions that needs to be strengthened. And this report comes as a shock to me personally, because how can we talk about not going for a right back? How can we talk about not going for a right back? For me, it makes no sense. Even if a left winger is needed as well. For a right back position, we know that Koundé is tired of playing there. He said it to Xavi already in their meetings that they had, that he is not there. Even though rumors started coming out saying Koundé is angry and he have requested to leave Barca, which was not true. But what was clear was he have already told Xavi his mind that he wants to play in his natural centre-back role. And if this report is to be believed, how on earth do you want Koundé to be happy, or how do you want Koundé to be happy playing for Barca if they want to insist or to convince him to keep playing as right back? Which for me, I think it makes no sense. It makes no sense. You want to bring in another central midfielder and a DM. Of course, for a DM, we understand that Barca will go for a DM, but bringing in another central midfielder and forgoing a right back makes no sense at all. And I think if Barca are doing that kind of business, I'll call it very bad business from Xavi. Makes no sense. And I don't think Koundé, because this kind of thing can cause Koundé to just change his mind and say he is open to offers and he wants to leave. Because if a player have tried his best to ensure that one full season he play in an unnatural position, despite playing well there, that does not mean he should be forced to play there. So if Barca are trying to make this going like this direction, I'm scared we might regret those decisions. A left winger is also needed, and I'm surprised this report claims that a left winger is not the priority now, that Barca want to keep it aside. We all know, for crying out loud, that Ansu Fati is the only natural left winger that we can say yes, we have a left winger, but he's completely out of form. He's out of form. Everybody wants to play at the right. Ferran Torres wants to play at the right. Rafinha wants to play at the right. Dembele is best suited at the right. Everybody right. Like, how on earth? The players we have are all right wingers. So Barca needs to go for a left. That's as simple as that. That's it. But when we look at this report, it's just contradicting everything from what I think we need the most. A right back. For how many years we've been talking about having a proper right back in this team, and we haven't. And here we're talking about convincing Kunde to stay there. If I am Kunde, I will leave this club because it makes no sense. Then on to the final story of discussion. As we inch closer to the summer transfer window, it has become abundantly clear that Barcelona will need to make player sales, and fast, if they are to be able to sign and register new stars before next season. A number of fringe players have been put up in sale for market along with almost all the stars who were out on loan from the club for duration for the 2022-23 season. And one such player who spends the last season away on loan from Barca and has no future back at the club is Sergio Dest. The 22-year-old right back was shipped off to AC Milan last season, but it is safe to say that the US men national team star stints in Italy failed spectacularly. Dest played just 14 games across all competitions for the Rossoneri, who will not be taking up the 20 million euro purchase option inserted in his loan deal. As such, the right back will be back at Barca soon, but with no future at the club, the La Liga champions are actively looking to sell him. However, according to a report from Ashraf Ben Ayat, as things stand, Barca have not received any offers whatsoever for Dest. That is not a good development as far as as far as Barca are concerned, as they were hoping to make at least one or two sales before June 30. Dest, for his part, has been attracting interest from Bundesliga club Union Berlin. However, the German outfit are eyeing him on loan, while Barca prefer an outright sale. In case Barca are unable to find suitor for him, there may be a possibility, however remote, that he could be kept around in the squad by Xavi amid a lack of options at right back, especially now that the club have ruled out signing a new player for the position. Dest is currently with the US men national team camp, with North American nation having 4 games coming up in the course of next 3 weeks. Following that, he will likely return to Barca, at which point a resolution over his future will be sought. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.